G'day, how you going? Well, it's me back again. Haven't done one for a while, but that's because there hasn't been much going on. No, not at all. We've got a loose rumour about some guy DCL joining the Leeds community, the Leeds players, and all the rest of it as a transfer, free transfer. People are going off their faces about injury prone and all the rest of it. Um, I think what a lot of people don't understand with players that have a history of injuries is there's a lot of things involved in the science behind their injuries. Um, as a professional club, we won't be purchasing players or bringing in players that we don't feel um, are capable of doing a job for us. The other thing too, what you've got to try and understand is medical, sports science and sports medicine is an ongoing, continually improving, and it's improved a lot since the Billy Bremner days, etc. It's improved a lot since last year. That's if you follow that sort of thing. A lot of the injuries that occurred, somebody pointed out to me because I was talking about. I don't. I'm not worried about injury prone players. Pointed out that look, Bordeaux or whatever his name is has only been here for a couple of weeks and he's out injured. Whoa, the end of the world is nigh. I think you should settle down a little bit because obviously you don't know what you're talking about. Um, and by that, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but yeah, I am trying to be disrespectful, not in a nasty way though. Um, you don't know what you're talking about because players come into a new side, they've got to adapt to the conditions that are laid out in front of them. There's different ways of training. There's different ways of doing things. They have to adapt to that sort of thing, and sometimes they injure themselves in doing that sort of thing. I don't know all the technical jargon for it or or that, but if you're training one particular way at one club and then you move to another club and they train different because all clubs do that. Sometimes you'll get a niggle here or a niggle there, and I think our medical staff and our fitness crew will be will be well aware of what's required, and they'll be well aware of what They don't, the club doesn't bring in a player who's got a history of injury and say, "Oh yeah, we'll have him." There's a process that you go through, and they would have done their due diligence. So don't come to me with the injury prone and all the rest of it. And when you look at some of the people that have said about injury prone players, um, oh my God, who was the player that they were talking about? Had a history of injuries. Oh, it is actually DCL. And the joke about DCL is it sounds like an injury. Talking about ACL and all that sort of thing. So we dribble on. Um, his history for injuries has been just as any normal football player. The only thing that would be of concern would be his hamstring. And of course, we know how well our medical staff look after people with hamstrings problems or those sorts of things. We look at Byram, we look at Solomon, um, and things like that. So I think we'll be fine. I don't think there's too much to worry about. I think it just gives somebody something to complain about, to be perfectly honest. And like I said, the 49ers and Farker, they're not stupid. Although a lot of people would like to think so they can be proved right. But oh look, I told you, I fucking told you. No, you didn't. Ah, anyway, that's that. Just Joe's got a vlog out from his time with content creators, the Premier League content creators, the big boys he was out with. I said on Jack's Underlap today, or last night, whenever. Well, today for me, I'm just not going to worry about the time difference. That his chat up lines were shite. However, if he gets a date with the Spurs young lady, good on him, I say. Well done. anyway, it's an interesting to listen to other content creators talking, and it was a nice little video that Joe did. He's been doing other stuff as well, but as they always say, it gets harder and harder to put out stuff and continue it. Although Matty from Imagine Not Being Leeds has got a video out, which I actually thought was quite enjoyable. Although it's not my cup of tea, and I'll tell you why in a minute, because he had his wife on and they were talking about the away shirts for all the Premier League teams. And she was putting them in order of what she likes. It may cause some marital differences, but that's what football's all about, isn't it? The reason I'm not particularly fond of it is I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, I did enjoy it, but I don't care about other football teams' away tops. I'm only interested in Leeds United. I think our third top's bland. It looks like a bus seat. So I'm not. Doesn't really float my boat. However, it floats other people's boats. So that's what it's all about. Jer is revamping his channel. He's coming up with some new programs coming up and all the rest of it. You'll have to go over there and have a bit of a look yourself. He's up over 60,000 subscribers, so he's doing really well. I like the new look. He's keeping his daily news for 5 days a week and does a wrap up on Saturdays. I think he's going to keep that, but he's also doing other things with watch-alongs on Big Up and things like that, which is great. What else? Locky did going back to injuries and injury-prone players. Locky did one on DCL about his injury and things like that, and he's a little bit worried about his constant hamstring problems. But I'm sure our medical staff, if we sign him, will sort it out, because they're not, like I said, we're not going to hire someone who's going to be out for most of the time. And they will know, they will have an idea of what his injury is and how it's going to progress and what they can do to rectify the problem. So we'll take it from there. The masterclass. You've got to, if you do anything, please go and see Jack City. He did an underlap today, and I've got to say I've watched a lot of different channels, and I've watched a lot of interaction with the chat and the content creator. Today's one in Jack City, the underlap. It's not everybody's cup of tea, Jack's style or anything like that. I love it. I didn't think I would when I first met Jack. Well, I haven't met him, but first got to see Jack. But he grows on you. I didn't like his music, but I do now. He's that sort of a bloke. He tells it like it is, no messing about. And what it was, the underlap is where you go. He has a few drinks, and obviously some people in the chat have a few drinks, or a few too many drinks. But what is enjoyable about it is what I always say. I want to be entertained. I want to be informed. I want to find it interesting. You not only get that from Jack, but you get it from the chat as well. I haven't seen too many comments in his chat that have put a damper on the event. It was a fantastic chat. However, this one, oh man, it was a beautiful. I'll put the link in the description below. If you get time, go check it out. But go fast forward to an hour and 3 minutes. An hour and 3 minutes, and that's where, if you watch the chat and the love that the chat gives Jack, I'm not going to spoil it for you. He was in, I would say he was pretty close to tears. He was going to shut his channel down a couple of times. But I'm not going to spoil it. You've got to. I was wrapped. It made me so happy to see the sort of love and support Jack got for no reason at all other than him being himself. And on that note, so I'll put the link below. It's called the Underlap. It was on today or last night. Hour and 3 minutes in, you can scan through, but then you can see what happened. Yeah, just I don't want to spoil it because if I say too much, it'll spoil it for people. It was a really enjoyable show, and just shows how much love your supporters have for you. The people that subscribe to your channel have for you. I mean, the same goes on Just Joes and Jers, but they cop a lot of flack as well. And I don't think Jack does cop a bit of flack, but it's like water off a duck's back, and he gives as good as he gets. But this was a magical show, absolutely magical. So go in 1 hour and 3 minutes, and then this guy called capital C, capital H, comes up with a super chat or something like that, whatever it's called, and it goes from there, and then on and off for the next hour. It's on, baby. It's on. On that note, we'll be winning on Monday, so don't worry about that. We'll do really well. And the reason we'll win is because one, it's at home. Two, we've got our fans behind us. Three, we're back in the Premier League. That'll be a big boost for the boys. I think playing at home in your first game, it's a no-brainer. You got to win at home. We've got to make Ellen Road a fortress. We will do that. We will get on with the job. You all take care of yourselves. Have a great weekend. Look forward to hearing what people have got to say about our win on Monday. And you take care, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.